degrees. Nope.
Order! Hey, Clem, got any kings?
Order!
Hey, you're cheating. No, I ain't.
Why are you cheating? Sit down, gentlemen! Good. Now, as mayor of Lost Bluff, I've called this emergency meeting of the town council to discuss a matter of urgent importance. Interim Sheriff Clem, if you please.
I'll order a telegram from Fort Buxton.
Is it about the teacher, Clam? Does this say when she's gonna get here?
No, it ain't about the teacher, Smitty. It's much more important than that.
There ain't nothing more important than having a teacher, Clem.
It's almost as important as having a church.
I don't see why you're all so fired up about having a teacher. There ain't no kids in Lost Bluff.
That's cause there ain't no women. Except you, Molly. And you ain't of the available type.
That's right. My heart belongs to Skinner Joe. I just know he'll be back for me someday.
But Molly, it's been 20 years.
It don't matter. I promised I'd wait till he struck it rich in his mind.
Meanwhile, we ain't got no women in Lost Bluff. There won't none come neither.
Why's that, Hank?
Because we don't have a school. In order to get dignified, genteel women to come to Lost Bluff, we gotta have a school.
Well, we already have a church. That should impress the ladies.
Running that ad in New York paper to get ourselves a teacher was a great idea.
Yeah, Miss Elizabeth Hastings should be arriving on the stagecoach any day now.
Yeah.
What are you fools gonna do when she gets here and realizes there ain't no kids nor school in Lost Bluff?
Molly. It's true. She may be a bit miffed at first, but by then, it'll be too late.
Yeah, we only sent her a one-way ticket.
She'll be stuck here.
Perhaps it wasn't the most Christian thing to do, but I think the Lord is going to understand.
Anyway, once she's here, it's up to us, the men of Lost Bluff, to woo her.
All we have to do is get her to fall in love with one of us, get married, and then the floodgates will open.
Huh?
See, Molly, after she chooses which one of us to marry...
She'll probably choose the one with the highest social position, like the mayor.
Or she'll choose the strongest, like the sheriff.
Interim Sheriff Clem, till we get ourselves a real law.
Nah, she's going to choose the most spiritual, say the local preacher.
I knew we should have got ourselves a Catholic instead of a Methodist.
Yeah, less competition.
The point is, I'm sure she'll choose one of us. And once she's settled down and married properly, there ain't gonna be nothing stopping other women from coming out here.
I don't get it. How does tricking a nice teacher lady, then lassoing her into marriage, get other women to want to come to Lost Bluff?
Don't you see, Molly? She's a woman and a teacher. And if all goes well, we might have a couple kids around here before you know it.
Why, in a few years, we'll probably have more women than men in Lost Bluff.
Hold on a minute. Your brilliant plan might not work. What if she won't marry none of you scums? What if she has her own money for a return ticket? Or worse, suppose she wires Lieutenant Dashing over at the fort, asking for help. Next to him, the bunch of you look like last night's leftovers. Why, I might even give up Skinner Joe if that lieutenant were to come around.
Lieutenant Dashing. That's right. I nearly forgot.
Looky here, fellas. The first edition of Lost Bluff Gazette, written, edited, printed, and delivered by me, Slim Fruit.
Slim, you misspelled Gazette.
Big deal. One misspelling word and spelling was important. Sure, it's the news. Now, if you want to keep up on dates, all you gotta do is buy your own copy of Gazette.
Slim, it's your article's dated 3 months ago.
Yeah, what's so up to date about that?
Gee whiz, fellas. It's the news. It takes a while for news to travel off the west. Sure, it would be nice if you could get your news instantly from anywhere off the country, but it ain't never gonna happen.
Alright, well, would you look at this? This here lady was booted out of the state of Kansas. Can you imagine having so many women around that you could afford to just boot one out of here?
She could come here. I won't boot her out.
You wouldn't boot nobody out.
Clear!
Hank, you don't know what you're saying. That lady is nothing but trouble. She go around to break out the legal business with hatchet. She called that hatchetation.
Why does she do that?
You ought to read your article. I travel out of reading it.
Yeah, looks like you spelled most of the words right, too. Seems like Miss Carrie Nation's trying to wipe out what she calls demon rum, and was last seen heading west.
Well, we got nothing to fear from Miss Carrie Nation.
Yeah, there ain't a drop of rum
Or nothing else.
in all the Lost Bluff. Because Molly won't allow it.
It ain't healthy for you. If you want a drink with a kick, I'll fix you up with my special power drink. A chock full of vitamins and minerals. Keeps you regular, too.
Look, here's an article about Lieutenant Dashing signing them peace treaty with them roundabout engines.
Oh, the lieutenant. That's right. I nearly forgot. This telegram is from the lieutenant.
What's it say, Clem?
Seems the Wilders have been spotted in the area.
If the Wilders are nearby, Johnny Dillon won't be far behind.
And he's crazy for Crazy K Wilder.
All right, everybody calm down. All right? We got nothing to fear for Miss Carrie Nation, the Wilders, or Johnny Dillon. I doubt they will come anywhere near Lost Bluff. Because after all, we got something that not every town has.
Someone's got lost again.
Me, Molly.
No. Lost Bluff has the protection of a bona fide lawman.
Good. You sent for help? Who's coming, Clam?
Ain't no one coming, you polecat. I'm the official interim sheriff of Lost Bluff. I'm your protection.
Shucks, Clam. You ain't got no special qualifications. We drew straws for that job.
Yeah, and you lost.
If anyone needs me, I'll be locked up in the bank vault.
Time to start the next edition. I'll be locked in my office.
I'll come with you. I can check your grammar.
My grandma ain't live with me no more, but you can come to look up my punctuation section.
You got it, partner.
I think I'll go down and clean out your root cellar, Molly.
While you're down there, straighten up them bottles. I'm recycling. Don't you worry, Clem. I'm sure you can handle the Wilder family. In fact, I bet that Kate Wilder might think you're just her type.
Yeah, but you see, Molly, we want some genteel and law-abiding women folk in Lost Bluff. And besides, I may be able to tame Kate.
In your dreams.
But that brother of hers, oh, and her mom. Now that is one family that I would not want to be related to by marriage.
Nope. Marrying Kate Wilder ain't such a good idea. Though I reckon they might want you as a blood relative, seeing as none of her husbands seem to live too long.
If anyone needs me, I'll be out of town for a while.
Hiding out, Sheriff?
Just doing a little scouting.
Good morning, madam. I am the owner of this fine establishment.
That I am. Molly Malone's name. What you selling?
Well, that's till the madam. I'm a Hilbert Smiley, alcohol salesman.
We ain't gonna do any business here, Mr. Smiley. We're a dry town. Alcohol ain't healthy for you.
You're concerned about good health, are you?
Yes, sir. I encourage healthy food, exercise, and I ain't forgot the environment. We started our own recycling program.
Commendable, madam. I applaud you. But I'm not here to sell alcohol for consumption. This here is rubbing alcohol, great for massaging in the sore muscles after exercising. How many cases can you down for?
I'm afraid I've got some pressing business to do in the cellar, Mr. Smiley. Maybe you could come back later?
That I will, my good lady. Tell me, is there a bad way over here?
Sure, that way. You in trouble, peddler?
I had this strange feeling for the past few days I'm being followed. I think it's only my imagination, but just as a precaution, you know.
Whatever.
Yoo-hoo!
Glory be, where did you come from?
The stagecoach. I expected someone to greet us, but this town seems completely deserted. This is Lost Bluff, isn't it?
It certainly is. Who is he expecting to meet you?
A Mr. Hezekiah Jones. Mayor Hezekiah Jones. He said he'd personally meet the stagecoach every day.
Mayor Jones is attending to some important business in the bank vault. I'm Molly Malone. I run this place. Molly's Hotel, Juice Bar, and Health Food Cafe. I also run the general store on Saturdays.
Juice Bar and Health Food Cafe?
That's right. You're in California now.
How delightful. I'm Elizabeth Hastings. I've come all the way from New York with my...
You're Elizabeth Hastings? Excuse me.
that is to say, young woman, what is so funny?
It's nothing, really. Would you excuse me for a moment? Here, have a seat. I'll be right back. Then I'll get you a nice room. Best in the house. I'll only be a moment. Those polecats really goofed up this time.
My dear lives, are you so sure about this job? I'm feeling more and more like it's been a mistake to come here. I haven't seen any children. In fact, all I've seen is one rather peculiar woman. I think we should get on the next stagecoach out of here.
Now, Aunt Beth, let's try to give Lost Bluff a chance. First impressions are often misleading. I'm sure someone will be along shortly to help us get settled and show us around. Now, why don't you sit down and relax for a while?
You sit down and relax. I'm going down to the bank to see if I can locate the mayor.
All right, Aunt Beth, don't be long. And be careful. This is the Wild West, you know.
Liza!
Coming, Aunt Beth.
Well, did he get a good look at your new school teacher and prospective bride?
Molly, if that magnificent creature would ever consider marrying me, why, I can lie down and die a happy man right now.
Smitty, you've been out west way too long.
Excuse me, miss. I believe we may have boarded the wrong train.
Train? Why, the nearest train depot's 2 days walk from here.
Yeah, that seemed about right. See, we were trying to get to Chicago and we're in a rather hurry.
Yeah, 'cause we was being chased by a bunch of unhappy customers thanks to this galoot.
It seems some of our fans just can't get enough of us. We're actors. Anyway, in our haste, I believe we may have boarded the wrong train. Are we anywhere near Chicago?
Son, you're as far from Chicago as you can get and still be in the US of A. You're in Lost Bluff.
Lost Bluff?
California.
California?
That's right. We ain't never had actors in these parts before. What kind of show you got?
Well, it's hard to describe adequately, but if you'll permit us to use your lobby for, say, a nickel a head, we'd be happy to perform tonight. But of course, at that rate, we'd expect rooms provided for our entertainers.
Well, now, I suppose I could give you one room. These fellas look like they're used to sleeping on the floor.
Now, just a gall darn minute. I'm a lady, and I gotta have my own room. I ain't bunking down with all them coyotes. Both snores like a grizzly bear.
You're a girl?
That's right. I'm of the female persuasion. But it don't matter none, 'cause I can outshoot, outride, and outfight this whole bunch of squirrely-eyed varmints.
Yeah, you sure talk big for such a runt.
Why, you...
Listen, mister.
Best. Theodore Best. Actor. Extraordinaire. At your service.
Right. I suppose you can stay here. I can only give you one room, but this, lady can bunk you with the new school teacher. I don't think she'll mind too much. You can do your show here tonight, but tomorrow, you and this unruly bunch better be on the stagecoach out of here. Smitty, you go tell Mayor Jones and the town council members that the teacher they hired is here.
You got a teacher?
Yeah, and she's the prettiest thing Lost Bluff has ever seen.
Lost Bluff is in worse shape than I thought.
That's funny. I ain't seen no kids running around here.
Oh, we ain't got no kids yet.
Bo, Jace, did you hear that? They got themselves a teacher.
Oh, Hannah, not that learning stuff again. We're actors of our own. Wild West show.
Pardon me, Bo. I believe that's my Wild West show.
Yeah. We'll tuck you in it, Poker. We wind up saddled up with your Wild West show that hasn't been west of the Mississippi. Until now, that is.
I still think that poker game was fixed.
And under your fine management, we shot straight from poor to broke. And on top of everything else, we're stranded out here in California.
Right? Ain't no one gonna pay to see a Wild West show out here.
Which is exactly why we're gonna get ourselves some learning. Then we could get some real jobs and buy our contract off of this idiot so that I can be free.
You want to be free? Please, take it. I don't want you. I'm an actor, not an agent. and you've been a thorn in my side since the day I acquired your pathetic act. Oh, I should have insisted Harry pay me the money he owed me. But oh no, I let him talk me into a one-hand, double or nothing, winner-take-all poker. And since he had no money, all I got was you.
Yeah, sure tricked you, Teddy.
Muldoons ain't taking no charity from you, Mr. Great Actor. We'll get ourselves some learning and some jobs, and we'll pay you off fair and square for that contract.
I'm sure you will. Oh, Hannah, we don't need no learning. We be getting by just fine using our wits and our fists.
Wits? Jesse Boone Muldoon, when the Almighty was handing out wits, you thought he was serving up grits, and you said, well, I ain't had much use for that stuff.
Oh, yeah? Well, if Bo and I is so dumb, how come we can shoot so well? Answer me that, huh?
Hey, now, what do you mean, Bo and I? Hannah ain't said nothing about my smarts.
That's right, Bo. You ain't got none to speak of.
All right, now listen. I got us into this mess, and I'll get us out. Jess is right about one thing. Ain't nobody gonna pay good money to see a Wild West show out here. Why, the folks all know how to shoot, rope, and ride.
Ain't nobody, east or west, shoots better than me.
The point is, to the frontiersmen, shooting and riding isn't entertainment. It's survival. But I'm sure they'd gladly pay to see some Shakespeare.
Teddy, I'm not playing Juliet again. No, sir.
Oh, come on, Leo. If a fellow playing Juliet was good enough for Lisbethans, I'm sure it would be good enough for the Californians.
I'm telling you, Teddy, I'm not gonna do it. Last time some fellow from the audience sent me flowers and candy. He wanted me to go out and see his ranch.
Yeah, and from what I heard, it was a mighty fine ranch.
Yeah, and that candy weren't too bad neither.
No way, Teddy. If you insist on doing Shakespeare, you can teach Hannah the part of Juliet. At least she's a real girl.
Oh, come on, Leo. You play a much more convincing Juliet than she would. Hannah Muldoon would murder the King's English.
I ain't gonna murder no English, but I might just bloody up a certain uppity, self-righteous, high-strutting, no talent. Sorry excuse for an actor.
No talent? Why, a part's never been written. A character never created that I can't play. Name a character. Any character. I'll play it so believably, I'll fool anybody who walks in through that door.
Come on, Teddy. You don't have to do anything to convince us. We know you're good.
Yeah, well, you can prove it to me. But I ain't interested in no 5-minute show. You gotta fool them all day. I'll bet you a nickel you can't do it.
No problem. Who do you want me to play? The hero? The lover? Or the scoundrel?
All of them.
What?
First, play a hero. I know, a U.S. Marshal. You got a badge and a gun in that bag of tricks of yours. Then, a lover. And last, a villain so cruel he'd make Jesse James, Billy the Kid, and Johnny Dillon shake in their boots. And if you can play those 3 parts bang, bang, boom, and keep folks believing you're that character all day, then I might just agree you're a halfway decent actor. But I don't think you can do it.
Oh, I can do it.
All right, but remember, you gotta fool whoever comes through that door or you lose.
Prepare to be amazed. You have no idea what I have got stored in this bag. Stage prop. Looks real, huh? U.S. Marshal.
I'm certainly eager to see the schoolhouse and meet the children, Mayor Jones.
We're very eager too, Miss Hastings.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Ulysses Bass, U.S. Marshal. I just stopped into town for a routine check of the surrounding areas.
Marshal Best. I'm Hezekiah Jones, Mayor of Lost Bluff. These fellas here make up the town council. This is our new school teacher, Miss Elizabeth Hastings, and her aunt.
If it's a routine visit, how come you ain't ever been here before?
Well, it's a new routine. The head office heard there might be some trouble brewing out this direction, so they sent me here to make sure everything's all right.
It's reassuring to know that Lost Bluff's under the protection of a U.S. Marshal.
How very noble of you, Marshal Best.
I'm just doing my job, miss. However, if I'd known you was here, I'd have stopped by sooner.
I've only just arrived, Marshal, but thank you for saying so.
Shucks, miss.
Excuse me, Marshal. Could I see you over here a minute?
Pardon me.
Of course.
You're supposed to be playing a lawman, not a lover boy.
Yeah, you said you wanted me to play them both.
Not at the same time. You can romance the next person who comes in.
Sorry for the interruption. Like I was saying, I just stopped in town to make sure everything's all right.
Providence must have sent you, Marshal. The Wilders have been spotted in the area.
Oh dear, I do hope we're not going to be bothered by scoundrels.
Never fear, dear lady. Marshal Best is on the job. They'll steer clear of this town, if they know what's good for them.
Your presence is a great comfort, Marshal.
Liza, dear, I'm exhausted. Why don't you run along and have a look at the schoolhouse while I have a nap? Of course, we'll need to get a room first.
Oh, you'll find the proprietress upstairs.
Thank you, Marshal.
I'll lock you up, Aunt Beth. I'll only be a moment, gentlemen.
Allow me to escort you.
We'd be delighted.
Tell us about the Wilders, Mr. Mayor.
They're an outlaw family led by Crazy Kate.
She's the most dangerous female ever to ride into Lost Bluff.
They ain't met Hannah yet.
Kate rides with her ma and her brother Snake.
Snake? Ooh, sounds pretty mean.
Oh, Snake's just a big dope. Kate's the one you really gotta look out for. She's dangerous.
Real killer, huh?
Kate ain't never killed no one. She just marries them.
What's so dangerous about that?
Kate knows that if she marries a man, Johnny Dillon's gonna plug him.
Why?
Johnny's nuts about Kate, but she won't have him.
So he follows her around, and whenever somebody has the misfortune of marrying Kate, Johnny Dillon shoots him as soon as the ceremony's over.
I'm certainly glad you're here, Marshal. I was a bit apprehensive about coming to the Wild West, but you make it seem so much more civilized.
Thank you, Miss Hastings. I'd like to invite y'all to come back down here tonight at 7. I've put together a little, surprise for the town.
I'd be delighted. I love surprises.
There will, however, be a small charge. Only a nickel. It's just a pittance for what you'll get.
I'm intrigued, Marshal. Here's a dime for Aunt Beth and me.
Miss Liza, I insist that you and your aunt come as my guests.
Now, if you'll excuse me, Mayor Jones, I'd like to take a look at the schoolhouse. Perhaps I'll meet some of the children.
It's rather doubtful, ma'am.
If you'll excuse me, Miss Hastings, I think I need to spend some time in prayer.
Of course, preacher. Mayor Jones, lead the way.
Marshal, I'll have you know that up till now, we at Lost Bluff have been law-abiding citizens.
I'm sure you have, Mr. Mayor.
Miss Hastings.
What'd I tell you? They all think I'm Ulysses Best, U.S. Marshal.
He is good, Hannah.
Yeah, well, they gotta keep on thinking so till tonight. Now get that star off so you can romance the next person who comes in.
I don't care about the bet, Hannah. I ain't romancing any fellows.
Fair enough. If it's a lady, you're a lover. And if it's a fella, you're a vicious outlaw.
This is great.
Here, we got any popcorn?
Shut up.
All right. If it's a fella, I'm an outlaw. And if it's a lady, I'm a lover. Yeah, I can do that. Looks like I'm a lover.
Hey, you!
Was that an angel singing? Or was that just your lovely voice?
You mess with me, you're liable to hear angels real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come on so strong. It's just, well, I've never seen a woman quite so lovely as you are. Quickly, you must tell me your name.
Don't you know who I am, Pilgrim?
Why? She's Crazy Kate.
Don't call me crazy, Snake.
Sorry, Katie.
Kate. That name drips off my tongue like honey off the comb. Kate. The name promises sweetness and light. Oh, I'm reminded of Shakespeare's Kate.
She just best not be trying to take over my territory.
Well, she couldn't hold a candle to your loveliness.
Why, thank you. You's a real gentleman. Don't get many of your type in this neck of the woods. What's your name, honey?
I'm, Don Juan Romeo.
Don John Romero. Kate Romero. Nah, don't like it. We'll keep my name.
Hannah, that's crazy Kate Wilder. You can't let Mr. Best go on romancing her. It'll get him killed.
Serve him right.
You's cute.
a bit scrawny, but cute. And I sure do like the way you talk. What do you say you and I go find us a hayloft somewhere and...
That sounds real inviting, but I'm afraid I can't right now. Perhaps later tonight at 7.
Good idea. We'll have the wedding right here. I'll bring the preacher.
Wedding?
You're one fast worker, Mr. Romulo.
Katie! Somehow I knowed I'd find you here.
Of course you did, you raccoon. You were standing across the street when we came in.
Katie, I've been miserable without you.
Well, get used to it, Johnny, because you and I just ain't meant to be.
Do you know what my life has been like ever since I met you? I've been so busy following you around, I hadn't had enough time to rob a bank or hold up a stagecoach even. And I ain't killed nobody.
Well, dang it, Johnny. Quit following me around.
I can't help it, Katie. Marry me. It's the only way to put an end to my misery.
It might end your misery, but it'll be the start of mine. Besides, I already got me a man. This here's the lucky feller. Come on, Snake Mom. We got a lot to do before tonight. See you later, lover boy.
But Katie,
Out of the way, loser.
Who are you?
Huh?
Why, this is Bad Bart Buckeye, the meanest critter west of the Atlantic Ocean. That is, if he wants to win a bet.
That's right, stranger. I'm the baddest of the bad.
Is that so? Well, what you doing kissing Katie?
They're getting hitched tonight, right here.
Over my dead body they are!
If that's the way it has to be, right, Bad Bart?
Well, perhaps I've been a bit too hasty, mister.
What's the matter, Bad Bart? Ain't you as good as you said you was?
I'm the best of the best. You put your gun away, mister. I don't want to kill nobody this early in the day. Come back here at 7. Then I'll give you your satisfaction.
Teddy. Shh. All right, I'll be back. But not because you asked me. Out of respect for Katie. I ain't never missed one of her weddings. This'll make it, the 13th.
Hey, you're Johnny Dillon, ain't you?
I see my respiration predates me. I'll be back.
Good. 7 o'clock. Bring a nickel.
What's for?
Admission.
This here's all the admission I need.
Hannah, do you know what you done?
It ain't what I done, it's what he's done. You've acted yourself into a spot you're gonna have to shoot your way out of. And shooting something you know nothing about. You're gonna have to come to me for help.
The great Teddy Best. Actor. Extraordinaire. Doesn't need help from anyone. I'm sure it'll all be cleared up tonight when they all show up for the performance. Actually, I think this is a clever way to bring in some business.
Teddy, didn't you hear what the mayor said about Kate and Johnny Dillon? They're dangerous.
Ah, come on, Leo. I'm sure we'll all be sitting around having a great laugh about this after the show.
You ain't gonna live that long, actor. If Johnny Dillon don't kill you, Crazy Kate'll rip your heart out for jilting her at the altar.
I don't think she actually expects John Romero to marry her. Anyway, I'm sure she won't want to when she meets the real Teddy Best. I ain't her type. I'm more a Miss Hastings type. Now there's a woman I could tear up my equity card for and settle down with.
Marriage? Yuck. I ain't never getting married.
Ain't no one would have you.
Shut up, you varmint. I could be just as purty and sophisticated and sassy as that teacher lady if and I wanted to be. But I like me just the way I am. Besides, I'll bet you couldn't part your hair at 50 paces.
Well, neither could you.
Yeah, but she's got other qualities.
Well, there ain't been a man been born can make me put up my 6-shooter and sashay around in a dress, giggling and flirting and such. It's pitiful.
Excuse me, sir.
God darn it. I ain't no sir, and dog blast it. You better. Wow. What can I do for you, General?
Lieutenant Dashing. Miss? Sorry, it's just in those clothes, I thought.
Think nothing of it. This is my, costume. Yeah, that's it. Me and Teddy Best here, we're what you call actors.
Wonderful. Culture has come to our backwater little town. I have missed the theater since being stationed in the West.
What a shame. What a crying shame, ain't it, Teddy?
Tragic. Why don't you come to our performance tonight of Shakespeare? Right here in Molly's lobby. It's only a nickel.
To see the bard's own words performed for only a nickel.
No, Lieutenant Darling.
Dash it.
No argument here. We're doing Shakespeare stuff, not the bards.
We? Oh, my dear, what is your name?
Hannah Muldoon.
Dear Hannah, it's nice to meet a lady who's talented and has a sense of humor. What role will you be playing?
Well...
Yes, Hannah. What scene would you like to perform? Oh, she has such a vast repertoire.
A what?
You have a very large compendium of...
Hey! My compendium ain't no larger than it ought to be.
Oh, my dear, you are a delight. Please, reserve me a seat in the front row.
Perhaps you could invite some of your fellow officers to come to the performance as well.
I'm afraid that isn't possible. You see, the forest is a day's ride from here, and my Indian guide, Sit and Duck, and I are on a routine check of the surrounding towns. There have been rumors that the Wilder family is in the area. And if the Wilders are here, then Johnny Dillon can't be far behind.
This should interest you, Teddy. Why is that, Lieutenant?
Why, Johnny Dillon is head over heels in love with crazy Kate Wilder.
He is?
Yeah, but she won't have nothing to do with him, though. He follows her around anyway. I guess she'll have to marry him eventually.
Why's that?
Well, the story is, he shoots every man who shows the least bit of interest in Kate. Eventually, there won't be anybody else left.
Why didn't you tell me?
I tried. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go find Mayor Jones.
Teddy, I think we're in big trouble.
All right. Let's not panic. The lieutenant said he'd be here. It's his job to protect us from outlaws.
Oh, Lieutenant, you're such a fan. You know that.
Oh, shucks, mister. I mean, ma'am. I can't wait to see you perform a little Shakespeare. Who are you gonna play? I'm already.
Why, you two no good, rotten buck-two down dogs better hightail it out of here before I forget I'm a lady and beat you to a bloody pulp!
Hold it, dude! We gotta talk!
Turn me loose!
You should have warned me about Kate and Johnny. And why didn't you tell the lieutenant that we're doing Shakespeare? I ain't got time to teach you that part by tonight.
You don't gotta teach me the part. I've seen you and Leo do it 3, 4 times now. I could do it in my sleep. Besides, Leo should not be playing a girl's part. It don't look right, if you know what I mean.
During the Elizabethan era, all roles were played by men.
That's disgusting. How'd they handle the kissing parts?
I don't know how the Elizabethans handled them. Teddy and I always just left them out.
That suits me fine.
Swell. I'd almost rather kiss Leo than you anyway.
You ain't exactly no prize catch yourself.
No prize catch.
Hold it. Hold it, Teddy. I think we ought to give Hannah a chance. This isn't Elizabethan England, after all. This is the 19th century western frontier. I could be shot for dressing like a woman.
Yeah, you're right. We are in California. All right, but you're gonna have to rehearse with Leo all afternoon.
Okay.
And since you're trying to be a girl, maybe look like one.
Why, you varmint?
Oh, and you might as well try acting a bit more like one too. Especially since you're trying to catch the heart of that lieutenant.
Well, you low-down sidewinder, I'll show you. Just you wait.
Sure. Leo, make sure she knows her lines.
Where are you going?
I'm off to offer Miss Hastings the protection of a U.S. Marshal. Ta-ta.
I hate that man.
Then I hope you can act as well as you can shoot.
Why?
Because you have to make the audience believe you're madly in love with him. Come on, we have a lot to do.
Please, Miss Hastings, if you'll just be patient, I assure you.
Mayor Jones, You do not have a schoolhouse. There are no children. You obviously lured me here under false pretenses. I do not believe we have anything further to discuss.
Miss Hastings, Liza, if you would only listen.
Liza and I will be on the noon stagecoach to Sacramento tomorrow. Thank goodness I had the foresight to insist she carry enough money for our return passage.
Now, if you gentlemen will excuse us, we're going to our room.
Miss Hastings, here you are. I thought you might like to take a stroll with me.
Marshal Bess, normally I'd be delighted, but you see, Aunt Beth and I will be...
Nonsense. You go on, my dear. I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
Of course. Don't give it another thought.
I could use some fresh air.
Great. Well, I saw this nice little water hole. There's some deer in it.
Hold it just a minute. You was clinging to my intended.
Your intended?
My fiancé.
You're engaged to the marshal?
No, I ain't engaged to the marshal. I'm engaged to this fella right here, Don John Romero.
This is Marshal Ulysses Bess. Tell her, Ulysses.
You got a twin brother or something?
Yes, that is great. I mean, of course I do.
Then how come you have different last names?
Our mother was married twice. We have different fathers.
That explains it. For a minute, I thought you was trying to get her to marry me.
Oh, I would never do that, and neither would my brother.
Good. Well, seeing as how I'll be leaving on my honeymoon tonight, I'm gonna need a little extra spending money. So cough it up, all y'all.
Marshal Bess, do something.
Oh, she's got a gun.
So have you.
Yeah, but hers is real.
What?
Come on, Missy, give me your dough. Snake, Mom, you take care of the others.
I never take it. Now I'm a prisoner here in Lost Bluff.
Well, seeing as how we're about to become kin, I think I'm gonna let you keep this. You probably need it more than I do anyway. Come on, Snake. I hope all of y'all can make it to the wedding tonight. We're having it right here. Thanks now. Come on, Snake Mom. Let's get out of here.
Hey, fellas, what I know?
It's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Snake, you leave that girl alone and let's skedaddle.
What? Mom, can you get a husband? Can that have me a wife too?
Maybe next time, Snake. I've got my hands full just planning Kate's wedding.
All right.
What a terrifying experience that was. I feel positively violated. I think I shall faint.
Oh, get a glass of water!
Oh my.
Yeah.
How did I get in this chair?
I carried you, little lady. You fainted.
Thank you, soldier. Finally, a true gentleman.
Lieutenant James Dasham from Fort Buxton, at your service.
Oh, Lieutenant, you've come just in time. We've been robbed.
This scoundrel, who was he? I'll hunt him down, drag his unworthy carcass to justice.
It was Crazy Kate and her gang.
But you don't have to hunt her down. She'll be back tonight for the wedding.
Wedding? I thought there was to be a performance of Shakespeare tonight.
There's a performance of Shakespeare tonight? I love Shakespeare.
Would you care to join me, Miss,
Elizabeth Hastings. I'm the new school teacher.
I didn't know there were children in Lost Bluff.
There aren't.
And I began to think there ain't gonna be none neither.
But I'm afraid I already have plans for this evening. Perhaps you could join us?
Well, I wouldn't want to impose.
Oh, no problem. I'm sure it wouldn't be bad. What about it, Marshal?
Marshall? I thought you were Teddy Best, the Shakespearean actor.
You must be thinking of his twin brother?
The one that's marrying Crazy Kate.
Nah, that fella's name was Don Romulus or something like that.
I think you're all talking about my other twin brother. We're triplets, actually.
Don't tell me your mother was married 3 times.
Maybe 4. Whoa! I know.
Shoot! I can't even get married once.
Tell you what. How about y'all come back down here tonight at 7, and I'll introduce you to my whole family. I promise. It'll be very enlightening.
All right.
I'll go. I'm in.
Now, Miss Liza, how about that one?
Oh, Marshal, I'm afraid I'm just too upset now.
Ma'am, allow me to offer you the protection of the U.S. Army.
I'd be delighted, Lieutenant.
We already got the protection of a U.S. Marshal.
And an interim sheriff.
both of whom stood by while I was brutally robbed of my life savings.
Maybe you should have put him in the bank.
Now, Lieutenant, will you walk me to my room?
It'd be my pleasure, Miss Hastings.
Please, call me Liza.
All right, and you can call me James.
What are you fellas so down in the mouth about?
It's Miss Liza.
Lieutenant is good as swept off her feet.
Lieutenant Dashin is sparking Miss Hastings? Looks like she ain't gonna be marrying none of you scallywags.
Marrying you? Why would she marry one of you guys?
Didn't you know that's the only reason they send for a teacher? Course I think they was expecting someone younger. None of them seem to mind her age too much. Frontier does strange things to man. Though I wouldn't be counting on children if I was any of you fellas.
Anyway, Marshal, you was after Miss Liza yourself.
Yeah, but at least I fight fair.
The marshal's right. That Dashin's such a purty fella. Ain't no female can ever resist him.
Yeah, not even Hannah. Wait a minute, fellas. I think I got myself an idea.
What is it, Marshal?
First, let me ask y'all, what would it be worth ya if I could get Lieutenant Dashin out of commission?
What do you mean, Marshal?
What if I could get Lieutenant Dashin to fall in love with somebody else? He wouldn't be trying to court Liza no more, and she'd be fair game to all y'all. Now, I'm not saying I wouldn't be trying to catch her heart myself, but at least you wouldn't have to compete with the lieutenant.
That certainly would be more fair, Marshal. But how do you propose to do such a thing? There ain't another woman, besides Molly, within miles of Lost Bluff.
It just so happens that there is another woman in town. Though she's no Elizabeth Hastings. Still, it might work. I ask y'all again, what would it be worth ya if I could get Lieutenant Dashin out of the picture?
I'd say $6.
$6 is not enough.
Oh, my. I'd say $6.
Still not enough.
Come on, $6. I got that. $50? Shh. Right. What is that?
Gentlemen, I think we got ourselves a deal. I'll take care of my end of the bargain tonight, and I want your word. I will have the entire sum tomorrow morning in cash.
You get Dashin out of our hair by tomorrow, you'll get your money.
Finally, civilization. I need to sit down.
Now, Sarah, on your feet. Our work is only just beginning. All right, ladies, gather around. Very good. Now, what's our mission, Lulu?
To discourage the sale and the consumption of alcoholic beverages everywhere across this great land.
Excellent, Lulu. And how do we carry out this discouragement, Belle?
First, by means of gentle persuasion.
And if that doesn't work, Jessica?
We resort to hagitation.
I'm so proud. Here's the plan. You get out to the wagon and stay there until this evening. I'm going to do a little snooping around and see what I can find out about this place. We'll meet back here later and bring your hatchets. If I have the slightest bit of evidence that they ever have, ever do, ever will, even maybe sell alcoholic beverages here, we'll light Molly's off the map.
But what about the gentle persuasion?
Ah, kid, they ain't gonna listen to that. Hagitation is the only language they understand. Now, I'm gonna do a little snooping around and see if I can locate that shifty alcohol salesman we've been tailing. You ladies get back out to the wagon and stay there until tonight.
All right, Miss Nation, whatever you say. What intonation got into her?
I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm about ready to retire from this hagitation business.
What would you do instead? What would you do instead?
I'd like to find me a man and settle down. Maybe right here in Lost Bluff. This don't seem like such a bad little town.
Yeah, I suppose you two think there's a man just waiting for you to show us so he can propose to you. Yeah, maybe you got a couple of them lined up.
You can laugh all you want to, but I bet there isn't one of you who wouldn't give up this life if some nice fellow were to come and make you an offer of matrimony.
You might be right, Jessica, but it just ain't gonna happen.
Especially not here.
I haven't seen a man since we arrived.
Come on, we better get out to the wagon.
It's been a pleasure spending time with you, Miss Asa. We don't get many women here in the West, and a woman of your culture, education, well, you're certainly a rare find.
Oh, Lieutenant, you've made what might be a miserable journey an adventure.
You think this is an adventure? You ought to try shooting buffalo with arrow while riding half-wild horse. Now that is an adventure.
Sit and duck, you've never shot buffalo with an arrow.
I know, I just said it'd be a great adventure.
Is there nothing I can say or do to make you stay?
My aunt won't hear of it. She accompanied me here to make sure the job was legitimate. Of course, I thought she was being overly protective, but now I see she was right all along, and I'm afraid without a real job, I couldn't convince her to let me stay.
What if you were to marry one of the fine citizens of Lost Bluff?
Oh, Lieutenant, don't be absurd. I don't plan on marrying for convenience. I plan to wait till I'm truly in love.
Perhaps you'll fall in love before the noon stagecoach tomorrow.
Love only happens that fast in literature.
That's what I always thought, too.
You changed your mind?
There's a woman, one I met just this morning, who I feel I could love forever. But I don't know how she feels about me.
Ah, what a load of buffalo chips.
Oh, Lieutenant, you're such a true romantic. If the lady truly loves you, she won't mind.
I'm afraid that'd be too much to hope for. Besides, my life here isn't easy. It wouldn't be fair of me to ask a lady to accept my rugged way of life.
She truly loves you. She won't mind.
Real rugged? He sleeps on a mattress every night, gets all his meals from the mess hall. If you really want to know what rugged is, try shooting your own food.
Sit and duck, you've never shot your own food. Your mother, was an Indian. Your father was a trapper. You grew up in a nice house in St. Louis with a cook and a housekeeper.
I never said I did any of those things. I just said it'd be rugged.
I think it'd be a good time for you to go check on the horses. Now, Miss Liza, may I escort you on the walk?
That'd be delightful.
Trying to help you. Don't you want the lieutenant to notice you?
Sure I do. What's in it for you?
Your happiness. That's all I want. I'll even give you your contract as a wedding present. Surely you'd accept it for such a auspicious occasion.
Ain't nothing suspicious about me getting hitched.
Listen, Hannah, if you want the lieutenant to notice you, you gotta let your feminine side show through.
I'll wear this dress Leo gave me.
I'm sure that'll be, lovely. But it's not enough. Come here. A woman has to be mysterious, alluring, and stimulating.
What do you know about it?
I know what I like. Take Miss Hastings, for example. And she is poetry in motion. And her voice, it's like honey dripping off the comb.
Yeah, but can she shoot?
It don't matter. Real ladies don't need to shoot.
What's she gonna do when a band of outlaws attacks her wagon?
She's gonna let her, man take care of it.
I don't need no man to take care of me.
And that's exactly why you're never gonna get one. Listen, Hannah, the man likes to feel like he's the stronger, like he's the protector.
That's silly. Who would have a better chance in a gunfight? You or me?
That's not the point.
That is the point. You ought to appreciate me for who I am, not who you think I ought to be.
I don't gotta appreciate you at all. It's the lieutenant's heart you're trying to catch, not mine.
Darn right. I wouldn't have you if you was the last man west of the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't have you if you had a gun in my head.
Good.
Good. Now that we've established that you and I are in no danger of falling in love with each other, let's see if we can't get Cupid to send some arrows the lieutenant's direction. Let's go over the performance. I'll give you a few pointers. You stand here.
Aren't I supposed to be up on a balcony or something?
Here. Stand on this chair. Juliet, that's you. A sweet, innocent girl. Earlier tonight, she's seen Romeo and fallen instantly in love. This scene takes place later that night. Romeo's in the garden beneath her window. She doesn't know he's there.
What's he doing? Trying to see in her night clothes? Too bad Juliet's pa don't have a hound dog. Then that Romeo wouldn't be snooping around in her backyard.
Romeo's not a peeping Tom. He loves Juliet and just wants to be near her. I'll start. I fear I am mortally wounded by that rascal Cupid. Oh, if only I could catch a glimpse of Juliet again. Good gravy. I modernized it a bit so that the audience would understand. Good gravy. There she is. This is where you step out.
I know, I ain't a dunce.
A light which breaks yonder window.
Wait, why's she breaking the window?
It's some sort of Elizabethan ritual. Don't interrupt me so much. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Oh, rise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon. It is my love. Oh, that she knew she were.
Knew she were what?
His love. They say things backwards sometimes.
Them Elizabethans was sure strange. Anyway, my line's next. Oh, me! What's that supposed to mean anyway?
It's kind of like, oh my.
Then why don't she just say, oh my?
Listen, Hannah, I do not have time to explain every line to you. Just do it, all right?
All right, your turn.
I know. She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? I didn't think she knew he was there yet.
She doesn't.
Then why does she say, where are you?
It's like, why are you a Montague, the son of my enemy?
That's a stupid question. Romeo is who he is. He can't change that.
I give up.
Now, here I go. Deny thy father and refuse thy name, if thou wilt not be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
That's Capulet. Shall I speak at this, or shall I hear more?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. What is Montague? It is not a hand, nor a foot, nor an arm, or a face, or any other part belonging to a man. You know, Beth, I don't much care for that line.
Yeah, well, I don't much care for this rehearsal.
Well, I don't much care for you.
I don't much care for you either.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I could do without you. I could do very well without you.
Excuse me, sir?
God darn it, I ain't no sir. I'm a girl.
You aren't? Oh, of course you aren't. I'm sorry. It's just, well, with those clothes, surely you could see my mistake.
Yeah, it's all right.
I'm Elizabeth Hastings, the new school teacher.
I know. I'm Hannah Muldoon. Sharpshooter and almost actress. Maybe.
It's nice to meet you, Hannah. Sorry I mistook you for a fellow.
It's all right. It's just, I guess if one of my own kind don't even recognize me, I ain't got no chance of attracting a man. Especially not the man I got in mind.
Don't be silly, Hannah. I'm sure you've got a nice figure, and you've got a lovely face. Well, with the right clothes, a little makeup, a new hairstyle, you'll be beautiful.
Trouble is, I don't know nothing about that kind of stuff.
Well, you're in luck, Miss Hannah Muldoon, because I've got trunks full of beautiful dresses, creams, lotions, curlers, colors, you name it.
Well, I'll be. You're okay. Thanks.
But what?
It's just, Teddy says there's a lot more to attracting a man than just looking good. I gotta be alluring, mysterious, and something else, I forget. Otherwise, the lieutenant won't notice me.
The lieutenant?
Yeah, Lieutenant Dashin. You ought to see him, Elizabeth. He's beautiful. I just never felt like this about a man before.
I see. When did you meet the lieutenant?
Just this morning. But it feels like I've known him forever. When he took my hand...
He held your hand?
Only for a minute. But it was like magic. He said he couldn't wait to see me tonight.
You're seeing him tonight?
And if all goes well, we'll be hitched by morning. Then Teddy will give me our contract as a wedding present. And I'll be free of that varmint Teddy Best forever.
I see.
No, I was beginning to think I was a lost cause. Until you came along. I sure envy you. You make being a lady seem so easy.
It's funny you should say that because, well, I really envy you.
May?
Well, sure.
Why?
Well, you're your own person. You seem so self-sufficient. You don't let people push you around. And you're a performer. I always wanted to be a performer.
You did?
Well, sure. I studied dance and music for years. My teachers used to say I could have been one of the best. But then Aunt Beth decided that the theater was no place for a young lady to be making a living. So the lessons stopped.
You know, it's funny. I ain't never had no one to tell me what to do. I just sort of grew up wild. But I wish I could be like you. But here we are, neither one of us happy.
Both of us knowing that there's something important missing in our lives.
Oh, Liza, I just know if you teach me a few things about being a lady, nature will take care of the rest.
Of course, Hannah. Nothing would make me happier than to see you and Lieutenant dashing together. Now, come on. We've got a lot to do before tonight. We've got to get you a new dress, your makeup, and fix your hair.
Could you help me with my talking some?
Sure.
Mr. Marlon, is this a good time to show my product? It's some of the funniest robbing alcohol this side of the Rocky Mountains.
All right, Mr. Smiley. What's it gonna cost me to get you off my back?
I think 5 cases I'll do it.
1,
3,
2.
Deal. 2 cases of my best alcohol. I'll have them here at 7 tonight.
No, not at 7. I'm expecting a large crowd about then. Make it 6:30?
You got it.
Something I can get for you, ma'am?
I know your sign outside says juice bar, but I was wondering if you had something a little bit stronger. I'm awfully parched.
Sure, I got just the thing. Here you go. This'll have you feeling better. It's my own special concoction.
So this is pretty strong stuff, huh?
Oh yeah, one of these will have you flying.
Molly, what do you want me to do with all these empty bottles?
I told you, stack them with all the others. Here, I'll show you again.
Thank you.
Excuse me.
Of course. Liquor will never touch my lips, but I don't need to drink that stuff to know Molly's selling hard liquor. I'm going to let her make her deal with Smiley, but he won't get away. We'll be waiting to ambush him at 7 o'clock, and we'll be back for a hagitation party.
Hey, Jess, give me a hand with this here balcony, would you?
Yeah, where's the boss want it?
Right. My bad. Here.
I can't wait to see Hannah in a dress.
That ought to be good for a laugh.
Hurry that up, fellas. Folks will be arriving soon.
Yeah, almost done, Leo.
We can get doing shooting tonight, Leo?
Well, you might have to shoot Teddy.
Shoot the boss. Why?
After he plays Romeo to Hannah's Juliet, you might have to shoot him to put him out of his misery.
That bad, eh?
Let's just say, if Shakespeare were alive right now, this would kill him.
Hannah's all ready for her big night. She's a bit nervous about not wearing her gun, though.
Yeah, that's just like Hannah.
She even sleeps with her gun on.
Oh, Lazar, you look lovely tonight. Won't you sit next to me?
Oh, Lieutenant, I'd love to, but I'm afraid the Marshal is my escort tonight.
I am? Oh, you bet. However, I won't be able to sit with you during the performance. But I'm sure I could get Molly to arrange us a nice, romantic, candlelit dinner for after the performance.
Sounds wonderful, Marshal. Until later.
Miss Hastings?
I don't get it. I really thought we were hitting it off this afternoon.
Well, there's no sense in trying to compete with the best. I've always been irresistible to women. Mm-hmm. However, Lieutenant, there is a woman of quite exquisite looks and character who is very interested in you.
Who could that be? I met all the women in Lost Bluff, and I don't recall anybody.
I'm not surprised you don't remember. When you met Hannah this morning, she was dressed for her role in the Wild West, the best in the West.
That fellow I met this morning, that was really a girl.
Yeah. Listen, she's got it real bad for you.
With all due respect, I really don't think she's my type.
Well, I'm not asking you to marry her. I just think it'd be nice if you showed her a nice time.
Why?
Well, it's her birthday.
Well, that's nice and all, but I don't think that's reason enough for me.
I really didn't want to mention this, but
What?
She ain't got much longer to live.
No?
No. A few days, maybe weeks.
Poor kid. She must be awfully brave.
Yes, but then we haven't told her. We want her to enjoy the time she's got left.
But she looks so healthy.
It's not one of those things that you slowly get worse from. It's just you're going, and all of a sudden you're gone. So how about it?
What?
Will you show her a good time tonight?
Listen, I really don't want to get involved in all this.
I will give you $50.
$50?
Yeah. Shh. But it'll have to be a check. I won't actually have the money until tomorrow morning.
Well, I suppose I could spend a little bit of time with her, especially since Liza's got other plans this evening.
Great! You won't regret this. Now find your seat, because the show's about to begin.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mayor, esteemed guests, welcome. You are very fortunate indeed to be here tonight. The world-renowned actor Theodore Best will present Moments with Shakespeare. Some of you may recognize Mr. Best as Ulysses Best, U.S. Marshal, or Don Juan Romeo, or Bad Bart Buckeye. Mr. Best extends his apologies to those of you he's fooled today. It was merely a theatrical exercise to stretch the limits of his talent. You will no doubt be thrilled, touched, and amazed beyond understanding by what you will see tonight. Performing with Mr. Best is his recent theatrical discovery, Miss Hannah Muldoon, formerly of the Muldoon Roping and Shooting Extravaganza. I know you'll be amazed by what you'll see tonight, so without further ado, Mr. Theodore Best and Miss Hannah Muldoon present Moments with Shakespeare.
I fear I am mortally wounded by that rascal Cupid. Oh, if only I could catch a glimpse of Juliet again. Good gravy. There she is, the light which breaks yonder window. It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Oh, rise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon. It is my love. Oh, that she knew she were.
Ah, May.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, if thou wilt not be but sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Wow.
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. What is Montague? It is not a hand, nor a foot, nor an arm, or a face, or any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. What's in a name? That which we call a rose would smell as sweet. Romeo, lose your name and take all of me.
Wow.
Romeo, lose your name and take all of me. Boy, I sure wish Romeo was here so I could tell him how I'm feeling.
I am not Romeo.
Then who are you, snooping around in the dark and spying on me?
I cannot utter my name, for it is hateful to me.
I know that voice. You are Romeo, and a Montague.
Not anymore. From now on, call me Joe Smith.
How'd you get over the wall? Don't you know you'll be killed if anyone finds you here?
I climbed over the walls on wings of love. I'm not afraid. There's more danger in your eyes than in 20 swords.
I would not for the world if you were found here.
I'm not afraid.
What?
Did you forget your line, Hannah?
What?
Please, you must vow to love with me.
Okay, my love for you is as deep as the sea.
You mean it?
If your intentions towards me are honorable, sir, then meet me at the chapel tomorrow where we shall be wed. But if this is only a game you've been playing with me...
It's no game. From the first moment I saw you, I've loved you. But I wouldn't admit it.
What time tomorrow shall we meet?
Tomorrow's too far away. We should be wed tonight.
Tonight? Romeo, what's wrong with you? A girl can't be expected to get married on a moment's notice. Please, you must go, and I must return inside. Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Hannah.
I'm supposed to leave after that line.
Not yet. We left a part out.
Well, you missed some of your lines, but I got every one of mine, and then some.
Yeah, well, you were wonderful, but we forgot this.
Miss Muldoon, you take my breath away. Will you be my guest at dinner this evening?
Teddy? Mr. Best and I would be delighted if you could both join us for dinner, wouldn't we, Teddy? You scamp, you certainly fooled us. You are the greatest actor that I've ever met. Excuse me, Hannah. Gentlemen, while I freshen up.
Miss Hastings.
Miss Hastings.
I guess I owe you this. You truly are the best actor in the world.
Hannah.
If you'll excuse me.
Don't be long. Best, I want you to take your check back.
Deal's off, huh? Yeah, well, I guess Hannah's...
Hannah is wonderful. I was a fool for taking your money. Please, don't tell her. I'm going to stay by her side until the bitter end. I'm going to go find her some flowers.
You don't... Yeah.
Congratulations, Mr. Best. You certainly fooled us today.
I hope you're not all too angry at me.
You get rid of Dasher by morning, and all will be forgiven. But we would like to amend our deal just a bit.
Oh, yeah, about that. I think it's best if we just call the whole thing off.
Out west, breaking the deal, Marshal, can cost you your life.
We still want you to get Dashing out of our hair by morning. It just don't matter to us whether he takes Miss Muldoon or Miss Hastings. We just want whichever one he don't take.
Yeah, and if you want your money and safe passage out of Lost Bluff,
you'll leave here by noon, alone.
We're serious about this. Dead serious, Mr. Best.
Yeah, but what if they don't take either of them?
You better be sure she does. He does. I don't care how you do it.
Just do it.
I don't think so, Mr. President.
Good talk, buddy.
Thanks.
Y'all are still there.
Lovely flowers, Lieutenant. Did you enjoy the performance?
Indeed I did.
Wasn't Hannah wonderful? How I envy her talent.
Well, Liza, I'm sure you could be a great success in the theater.
Oh, I did so want to be an actress. I studied for years. But Aunt Beth, who raised me since I was orphaned as an infant, would never allow it.
You're a grown woman. Can't you do as your heart desires?
That which one desires may not always be within their grasp.
I can't imagine that anything you would desire would be out of your grasp.
Excuse me.
Ah, there you are, Hannah.
Hold up for a minute.
You should have warned me is all I'm saying.
I couldn't warn you. I didn't know myself.
You said there'd be no kissing. You threw off my whole performance.
I couldn't help it, Hannah. You are so different.
I just let my feminine side out like you suggested.
You were wonderful.
Indeed you were.
You stay out of this.
He don't have to. He's my dinner date.
Not anymore. Date's off.
What?
Listen, Hannah, the only reason he agreed to go out with you was because I told him it was your birthday.
What?
And that you didn't have much longer to live.
You told him that?
And I may have given him a check for $50.
Oh, I gave it back, Hannah, I swear. Please, won't you join me for dinner tonight?
I thought you were such a fine gentleman. I was wrong. I've been wrong about a lot of things lately.
Hannah, I have done some stupid things in my life. But one of the stupidest was almost letting you get away from me. That kiss wasn't Romeo kissing Juliet. That was Teddy Best. The real Teddy Best kissing Hannah Muldoon.
There is no real Teddy Best. You've been playing other people so long you don't even know who you are. Now let me go.
No, not till you say you'll marry me.
Marry you? Jess, bring me my gun. Jess, my gun now.
Hannah, easy.
Get your hands off of my man.
Kate, you missed the performance. You were supposed to be here at 7.
Sorry, I got held up holding somebody up.
Hey, that's good on, Kate.
Shut up, Snake. We're gonna have this wedding or what? Johnny's waiting outside to shoot your new husband.
There's just one problem. I ain't who you think I am. I'm Teddy Best, actor extraordinaire. I've never even shot a gun before.
That's okay, honey. I still think you're cute. I'm gonna marry you anyway.
Kate, are you crazy? Sorry, Katie, but if they don't know how to shoot, he won't live their honeymoon, you know? Johnny will shoot him down like a dog in the street.
Oh my goodness. Lieutenant, do something?
Well, I can't really do anything until he, shoots you. Then we'll have a pretty strong case against him.
It'll be too late by then. I'll be dead.
Now, don't be such a gloomy Gus. Maybe you'll beat Johnny. He ain't all as good as he brags to be.
Listen, Miss Wilder, I am sure that you're a lovely young lady and any man would be pleased to marry you, but don't you see, I misrepresented myself. I'm not worthy to marry you. I'm just going to go ahead and pack my things now and leave.
You's worthy enough. Snake, get the preacher. And you'll be the maid of honor. And you'll be the best man.
You can commence with the ceremony, preacher.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered in the sight of God and man.
Cut to the chase, Rev. There's hardly enough light up for a decent showdown.
Yes, ma'am. Kate, do you take this... What's your name, son?
Well, it's actually a really long
Just cut to, I now pronounce you man and wife.
I now pronounce
Hold it! You left out a part.
Sweetheart, I left out a lot of parts.
Yeah, well this part's real important.
And what part is that?
Part where you ask if anybody objects to this marriage.
Just 'cause ain't nobody gonna object to this marriage if they want to stay healthy.
You make a good point, Kate. But I gotta be honest with you. I'm starting to feel kind of objectionable about this whole thing.
Oh, thank you, Lord!
What do you mean?
I know the little guy ain't much to look at, but I gotta be honest with you. I've grown rather fond of him. I don't particularly want to see him get shot up by Johnny Dillon.
I'll let you in on a little secret. I gave Johnny a bottle of that brew that peddler was selling here earlier. By the time this wedding's over, he won't be able to shoot straight. Little guy's got a good chance of plugging him.
Well, that may be, but I don't see how that'll make things much better.
Why's that?
'Cause if he survives his shootout, he'll be married to you. And like I said, I've grown rather fond of him.
Well, there's only one way you're gonna get him.
And how's that?
Gonna have to take him from me.
Oh. Okay.
Clem, I think now would be a good time to escort Kate and her gang to jail for robbing us this afternoon.
Good thinking, Mayor. Up you go. Come on. Yeah. All right. As the official interim sheriff for Lost Bluff, I'm placing you under arrest for suspicion of a robbery that I saw you commit. All right. Let's go.
I'll be holding to that marriage, sir. It'll be too late by then. He'll already be married.
Do you really mean that, Hannah? Or are you just acting again?
I don't know nothing about acting, Teddy.
Well, Miss Liza, it looks like we've both lost our dinner dates. Would you care to join me for a quiet supper?
I'd love to, Lieutenant, but I won't have time. I've got to pack.
Good. The sooner we get out of here, the better.
I'll make sure that you're on the noon stagecoach tomorrow, Aunt Beth. Then me and Mr. Krumsky and the Wild West Show, we're going on the road.
What?
I'm going to be an actress. Mr. Krumsky wants to be my agent.
The kid's got real talent. Mr. Best, I thought it was time that I struck out on my own. If you let me pay a little at a time, I'll buy the show's contract off of you.
If you leave Hannah with me, you can have Bo and Jess. No charge.
But Hannah's the whole show.
Let her go, Leo. We'll start a whole new show.
All right, partner.
Tough luck, Lieutenant. Come on, I'll buy you one of Molly's power drinks. Yeah.
Bad Bart, I'm calling you out. Never mind, I'm coming in. It's Johnny Dillon.
Relax, everyone. I'm sure he just thinks that Kate and I are married. I'll explain everything, and I'm sure he'll go away.
Woo! This is the worst hooch I ever had. I couldn't drink but that bottle. Ah, there you are. I figured I'd better come in, being as it's getting too dark to shoot anybody outside.
Oh, there's not going to be any shooting, Mr. Dillon. Kate and I aren't married.
I figured. I saw the sheriff hauling Kate and her king to the jail. But it don't matter. I'm gonna kill you just for thinking about marrying Katie.
I was never actually considering marrying her, Mr. Dillon. I'm an actor. Besides, it wouldn't be much of a fight. I don't even have a gun.
You had one earlier. Go and get it, but don't be long. I'll just keep her as insurance till you get back.
You don't hurt her. Listen, Mr. Dillon. Like I said, I'm an actor. My gun was only a stage prop.
You is quite the character, Bess. Here, you can use my other one. I just loaded it.
Oh, no, I couldn't.
Just slide her into your pocket there.
Mr. Dillon, I'm sure we can work something.
Put the gun in your pocket, boy!
Just 1 second. Hannah? I gotta say, I really like the new you, but the old you ain't so bad either.
You ain't suggesting I shoot it out with that varmint, are you, Bess?
Oh, of course not. It's just... Well,
After all, you are the one that said a man likes to be the strong one, the protector.
Yeah, well, that's all great in theory, but in actual practice,
It's all right, Teddy. Don't worry. Everything will be all right.
I'm sure it will.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Dillon.
Right. Here's how it's done. I count to 3, and then we draw.
Okay.
1, 2.
Wait. Do we draw while you're saying 3, or do we wait till 4 if you're going to count that high?
Look, as soon as I say 3, we draw.
Do we draw while you're saying it, or do we wait till you cut it off?
What? 1 more. 1, 2, 3. Wait till I say 3. Let me finish, but don't wait for 4.
So while you're saying the E sound.
Right.
Well, you know, that E sound can sure carry on for a long time. Are you just going to cut it off, or...
I don't know. Just be ready. Come on, we've saw long enough.
Okay. Go.
1, 2.
Wait.
What is it now?
Can I have a moment to pray?
You don't need to pray.
I don't?
Nah, you'll be meeting your maker here in a couple of seconds. You can talk to him then. One, two, three.
If you care about your reputation, you'll keep your mouth shut about this. Now get out of here, you varmint.
Outshot by a girl. I ain't saying a word.
Am I in heaven?
No.
Oh no! That explains all this perspiration.
Teddy, you're not dead. You shot Johnny.
I did? Well, I don't even remember firing my gun.
One second.
Man, I don't think I ever saw Johnny run that fast before.
Yeah, he was running faster than a coyote.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Well, look at there. The actor shot Johnny Dillon.
Mr. Best, ain't no one ever outgunned Johnny Dillon before. Mayor, you know what I'm thinking?
I sure do, Smitty. Mr. Best, we'd be beholden to you if you'd agree to become our permanent sheriff. Clem could be your deputy. You get your own house right next to the jail cell, free meals at Molly's, and a nice little salary. 2 people could live off it if and they was frugal like.
Well, gentlemen, it has occurred to me that this town needs a strong, rugged, quick on the trigger kind of fella to keep things in line. There is, however, a slight chance that my shooting Johnny Dillon was just a fluke. I'm not really the dead shot y'all think I am.
It don't matter. It's the reputation that counts.
Yeah, as long as people think you bested Johnny Dillon in a gunfight, they'll be leaving Lost Bluff alone.
Well, it would be nice to settle down, but...
Teddy, think of it like a series.
A what?
You'll be playing the sheriff of a growing town. You'll have new adventures every day.
Yeah, but Hannah, these bullets are real.
It's all right, Teddy. I'll be playing the wife of the sheriff, and I don't plan on ever leaving your side.
Gentlemen, I think you got yourself a new sheriff.
You can swear me in as deputy first thing in the morning.
What a day this has been.
Yeah, we got ourselves a permanent sheriff. But he's the only one that's got himself a wife.
Let's face it, if we don't get some women folk here soon, this town of Lost Bluff is gonna die.
You know what? Brothers, I think the Lord has been testing us. We failed. We tried to deceive a woman into coming to Lost Bluff. And that ain't the right way. We need to get down on our knees and pray that the Lord sends us wives.
Lord, if you send me a wife, I'll come to church every week.
Me too.
Card playing.
And spitting.
And I will take a bath for the drops of blood.
Come on.
We're headed for some agitation. Come on, ladies. Got some other liquor.
Hold everything. We ain't got no liquor here.
Don't lie, Miss Malone. I overheard you buying 2 cases of alcohol from this salesman today.
That was rubbing alcohol. I also run the general store.
Well, if you ain't selling booze, how come you got so many empty bottles in the cellar?
We're recycling, you know, using bottles over and over so there ain't too much waste.
Well, how about that concoction you gave me today? The one that you said would have me flying?
That's my special power drink. It's chock full of vitamins and minerals. Keeps you regular, too.
Then our trip here has been for nothing.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, you guys were sent by Providence.
Nonsense. Come on, ladies. We must move on to other towns.
No,
don't go.
The Lord needs you.
Oh, if it's all sent to Miss Nation, I think I would like to stick around here for a while.
Yeah!
Oh, here, hold on.
Me too. I'm tired of moving into a town, tearing the place up, and then moving on again.
Hey!
I see at least one reason I like to stay. Come on.
You wouldn't by chance be a Methodist, would you?
Presbyterian.
Close enough. Oh, shucks.
Rum. While I'm at it, I'll get rid of corsets, foreign foods, skirts of improper length, and those paintings the sort found in bar rooms. Out of my way, no one can stop me.
Well, I'm certainly glad she decided not to stay.
Yeah. Preacher, you think he also listened to all those rash and unthought out promises before he sent the ladies?
Yeah.
Aww.
You know, I think that Lost Bluff is probably the best place on earth to live.
Yes, Sheriff Best. Life is almost perfect here except for one thing.
What's that, Molly?
Out of my way! I got my mule double parked outside!
Get her, Joe!
Molly, is that you, my little pudding cheeks?
I waited for you, Joe. Did you strike it rich in your gold fields?
You waited for me? You know, I didn't find the gold, but I found the hot water there, and like I'm charging tourists like $22.50 to soak for an hour. I'm rich, Molly. Will you marry me?
Maybe after you soaked in your hot springs for a while. You've been spending a lot of time with your mule, ain't ya? Woo!